Hammering out process to find the next GCOM chair continues, and tourism is the second largest export earner. It's Wednesday, July 17. These and other stories in today's news. His Excellency President David Granger and Leader of the Opposition, the Honorable Bara Jagdeo, have issued a joint statement indicating the continuation of the selection process of nominees for the position of Chairman of the Guyana Elections Commission. This follows Tuesday's cordial meeting between the two at the Ministry of the Presidency, where the agreement was met.
At the Ministry of the Presidency this afternoon, a high-level meeting wrapped up after almost 2 hours, with President David Granger and the opposition leader Bara Jagdeo agreeing to continue the shortlisting of nominees for the position of GCOM chair.
The Director General of the Ministry of the Presidency, Joseph Harmon, briefed the media following today's meeting.
It was agreed as follows. 1, that from the list of 5 names shortlisted by the working group, 4 were found not unacceptable to the President. And 2, as part of the hammering out process, the 2 names suggested by His Excellency the President and other names as may be necessary will be discussed further. The parties agreed to continue meeting on this matter tomorrow, 2019-07-17. This is a joint statement.
President David Granger explained that the opposition leader's power to name his nominees has not been impinged in any way.
Equally, when the President receives that list, he will make a choice. What the CCJ did point out is that there should be a hammering out process in the arrival of those names on the list. I think that's as much as we can say today.
According to both sides, this process will continue on July 17.
We have not as yet agreed on a time, but it's going to be a very engaged process. We're not disengaging, and therefore it's a telephone call to say, okay, we're going to meet at 9, we're going to meet at 10. But certainly we will remain engaged until, as the President says, we can arrive at a list of 6 names that is not unacceptable to the President.
Paul McAdam for InfoHub.
In more good news for the economy, tourism in Guyana continues to show exponential growth. According to the Guyana Tourism Authority, the influx of visitors and their corresponding spending continue to add positively to our GDP.
The net result is that travel and tourism as a sector injected approximately $62.6 billion directly into Guyana's economy in 2018. That means that tourism is the second largest export sector in the country after gold and ahead of rice.
With such a large contribution to the Guyanese economy, the travel and tourism sector has contributed roughly 7.8% to the country's overall GDP. In doing so, and with its constant rise, the sector has also created thousands of jobs.
That drives directly an approximate 8,500 jobs. That's direct employment. And then in terms of indirect and induced employment, it's a total of 22,000 jobs as estimated by the World Travel and Tourism Council.
Minister of Business Hemraj Rajkumar pointed out that while Guyana was not known for tourism, efforts by the government and the Guyana Tourism Authority have changed that, resulting in a major increase in visitors to the country.
Interestingly, more people are being interested in coming here, and as alluded by Director, we received over 286,000 visitors in 2018. And this would have represented a 15.9% increase over 2017. And from January to May this year, there were a 9.2 increase in visitation over the corresponding period of 2018.
Most of these visitors to Guyana's shores come from the United States, Canada, and the United Kingdom, while investment is being made by the GTA into the European markets as well. Reporting for InfoHub, Nikosi Bruce.
The Guyana Police Force has once again recognized ranks for executing their duties effectively. The force held its 180th anniversary award ceremony today, which serves as a reminder that positive actions lead to recognition and rewards.
At the ceremony, officers of the force were recognized for their stellar performance in maintaining law and order. Close to $20 million were paid out to the officers. Commissioner of Police Leslie James said the honors are a form of motivation for the members of the force.
These awards and recognition are never in vain, for the record will show that the awardees and receivers of incentives and commendation continues to excel and venture beyond the call of duty.
The efforts of the police officers, the commander said, must not go unnoticed, as they all play an important role in ensuring a safe Guyana for all.
They are the officers that remain in their offices, taking statements, generating painstaking reports long after their colleagues will have left. They are those officers that cast aside fear of danger and challenge individuals with criminal intention and those engaged in criminal enterprises. They are also those who put their lives and well-being of our citizenry before theirs.
Several groups of officers were recognized for dismantling several criminal enterprises and saving the lives of civilians. Over the past 5 years, approximately $154 million was paid out in awards to deserving officers. The recognition of officers will continue to be a permanent feature on the force's calendar of activities. Isaiah Braffett for InfoHub.
Still to come, the region's teaching standards are being reviewed and Bena Hill Institute churns out more graduates. These and more after the break.
Are you ready to embark on a truly epic adventure to an undiscovered corner of South America, where some of the most spectacular natural attractions are unveiled within a beautifully diverse landscape? From the wetlands and savannas to the ancient mountains, magnificent waterways, and lush, enriching rainforest, would provide a vast playground for some of the most exotic and breathtaking creatures on the planet, including many of the world's giant species. This untouched land of mystery and wonder serves up an exclusive experience for travelers. So are you ready for a new, awe-inspiring adventure? Welcome back to nature. Welcome to Guyana.
Welcome back. A guidance framework to revise the teaching standards across the region has begun. The CARICOM Secretariat is spearheading this initiative, which will run over the next 3 days.
The consultation fulfills a mandate of the 34th meeting of the Council for Human and Social Development Education held in May last year. The CARICOM Secretariat was required to consult with educational stakeholders in the development of CARICOM standards for teachers and educational leaders. CARICOM's Assistant Secretary General, Human and Social Development, Dr. Douglas Slater, said improving educational delivery has implications for lives both in the present and the future.
In the now, education transformation demands that we correct and address the errors of our past, where for us as CARICOM and Latin American region, education through its colonial inheritance served to limit our capacity to create, respond, and adopt.
Chief Education Officer Dr. Marcel Hudson told the confab at the Arthur Chung Convention Center that the establishment of standards for the teaching profession is critical to the much-needed transformation of the education sector.
Notwithstanding the successes that we see in our education system, it is clear that we need to continue to press on to ensure that our system continues to do well throughout the Caribbean. Recognizing the magnitude of the issues that exist in the education sector, we felt duty-bound to embark on a practical course of action to counter same, as is evident in our National Strategic Plan 2019-2023, Vision 2030.
The development of standards for practice advances the mission of the CARICOM Human Resource Development 2030 strategy to enable people as they progress from their earliest years to senior adulthood. Reporting for InfoHub, Alexis Rodney.
More Indigenous youths are being given the opportunity to qualify themselves in various areas that will benefit the hinterland region and the country at large. This is testimony as another batch of students has graduated from the Bena Hill Institute Youth Learning Center in areas of tourism and agriculture, among others.
The Bena Hill Institute's 10th graduation ceremony saw 19 youths graduating after successfully completing the 2-year residential program. During brief remarks, Minister Sidney Alicock emphasized the importance of appropriate education to move the development of the hinterland communities forward.
With a solid education, there is hope for a good life. And the President has asked that everyone takes this seriously. Education is on the rise. Let us not neglect that opportunity. Let us be part of that message on to the others. For that is the way we are going to move forward towards a good life.
Valedictorian Ignacio, who hails from the small remote village of Yorong Paru, said that the journey was both challenging and fulfilling for her. She charged the newly inducted students to work to lift the standard of the institution.
I now challenge you to take up the full responsibility of being good role models. Show hospitality to others and work to lift the standards of this institution in whatever positive way you can.
2 graduates from Region 8 will be returning to their villages skilled in tourism, forestry, and agriculture. Regional Chairman of Region 8, Bonaventure Fredericks, who traveled all the way to Anai to support the students, said that these skills are needed in the region.
I feel good because I can tell you that the previous one, we had 18 graduated. Out of the 18, we have 2 at UG. So it's a great encouragement. I feel good, I feel proud about them, and with these 2 just coming off today, I know that they have a long way yet to go, so I'm happy for them.
The graduates were charged to make full use of the government scholarships program to further their tertiary studies at the University of Guyana, the Guyana School of Agriculture, and the Government Technical Institute.
Did you know that Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II and a former Cuban president are among some of the well-known dignitaries that walk the corridors of the Watuka House in Linden? We tell you more about the recently refurbished Watuka House and its history in this report.
The Watuka Guest House is a 3-story wooden building, features an antique colonial design, and is nestled between lush vegetation and the Demerara River. The Watuka complex was built in the 1940s during the era of early bauxite production and formerly served as a club for expatriates who worked at the Demerara Bauxite Company, Demba. Now, several decades later, this architectural treasure has been completely overhauled and transformed.
The continued existence of Watuka Guest House is indeed an historical one, and it has deep symbolism. You may be aware that this 3-story building was constructed in the early 20th century for private use. It was afterwards renovated by the Demerara Bauxite Company, commonly known as Demba, to house its managers. Subsequent to this, in the 1940s, it was renamed Watuka in recognition of the nearby Watuka Creek.
Minister with responsibility for housing Annette Ferguson speaking at the grand reopening held recently. The $35 million spent by the custodian National Industrial and Commercial Investment Limited (NISL) included refurbishments to 13 suites, including the presidential and prime ministerial suites, purchasing of modern equipment, appliances and other amenities, expansion of sections of restaurants such as the bar and a complete kitchen makeover, landscaping, and general maintenance of the lawns. The rehabilitation project also included the construction of a deck and boardwalk overlooking the Demerara River and features an outdoor restaurant and bar. Some of the well-known dignitaries that the Watuka Guest House has hosted include Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II in 1966 and President Fidel Castro of Cuba, among others. Some of the Guyanese leaders that have walked through its corridors include past presidents Lyndon Forbes Sampson Burnham and Dr. Cheddi Jagan. The Watuka Guest House is one of the best hospitality destinations in Linden and represents its rich history and culture, as was noted by Minister of Business Himraj Rajkumar.
Watuka is poised to fill the void that there's a need for quality accommodation. It has all the trappings with its beautiful architecture, impressive surroundings, and a town teeming with history. It can become part of the pride of Linden.
Reporting for InfoHub, Natasha Smith.
That's all for today. Connect with us on WhatsApp, Facebook, and YouTube. Much more news is on our website, dpi.gov.gy. I'll pop over to Instagram for the latest photo updates at DPI Guyana. Your bridge and weather reports are up next. Goodbye for now.